Hello, welcome back to Armchair Armory, and it has just finished in the FA Cup third round tie at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal nil, Liverpool 2. Where do I begin? The same old problems are still there. I think that this was a much more improved performance in terms of the build-up play and in terms of approach play. I think this was a much better performance than Fulham and West Ham, and we had a lot of chances, probably more than Liverpool did. I felt particularly first half we were excellent. Like, I thought we were really good first half. I don't know what it is. We've just been suffering from this lack of goal threat. Havertz was playing up front today because Gabriel Jesus, Arteta decided to go with Havertz up front instead of Nketiah. Gabriel Jesus has a small knee injury, particularly with him, he was taking a lot of touches. He'd get into really good positions, and instead of hitting it first time, he would just take too many touches. And Odegaard was letting too many taking balls in unnatural positions and stuff like that. I think, apart from the fact that we conceded 2 goals, I thought that the defense played pretty well. Ramsdale started in goal today over Raya, which I kind of expected. I think he played well. There was nothing much he could really do about. You could say he came too further forward for the first goal, and for the second goal, there's nothing he could do about it. It was a bullet that Luis Diaz put in. Odegaard played really well. I thought Jorginho played really well. I just don't know what's going on at the moment. I've had a few people come at me in the comments after Fulham saying, the usual things you get from like fans of lower league clubs that say things like, "Oh yeah, well you lost to Fulham, you didn't lose, you're not bottom of League 2 or whatever." But at the end of the day, like, for where we want to be, there is a reason to be worried. I won't go as far as a lot of people are doing on Twitter. They're saying, using words like it's embarrassing and Arteta out and all this kind of stuff. And I made an appearance on the Guna Talk. Shout out Tom. If you want to go and see what he does, check him out. Probably one of the most balanced people in this kind of Arsenal YouTube sphere. I said there, because the whole debate was about, or the whole phone-in show was about this whole reaction of people wanting Arteta to be sacked and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, well, I made the point that, and if I had more time, I would have said more. But my main point was, we've been in worse situations than this. The latter part of Wenger, pretty much the majority of Unai Emery's time with us, and the first years of Arteta were not great, so the fact he's taken us to this point where we are challenging a bit more. I thought we did compete today. I think we did compete, and it's a shame. It's a shame that we've come off the back of it. I remember Stefan, who's been on this channel a few times, the Man United fan, when after we beat Man United 3-1 in the league, he said, "I don't know how we lost that 3-1. That's kind of how I feel about this game. I don't know how it didn't come. It wasn't a 2-0 game. And I just think I knew that it was going to happen. I knew that, like, even before, Alan Shearer, who was on commentary with Guy Mowbray, was saying, "Oh yeah, Arsenal are going to rue their chances," all this kind of stuff. I knew it was going to happen. It felt like one of those games. It kind of felt like the last 2 performances that we've had, although this performance was a lot better overall, apart from in the final third. It just felt like this was going to be. I've lost my train of thought. I got distracted by a noise, which I don't know whether the doorbell rang or what. But anyway, I'm a bit I'm a bit miffed as to how we lost that. And the only thing that it comes down to is that for some reason we don't have our shooting boots on. Our attacking players aren't finding form. I mean, I saw, you know, them saying, "Oh, I don't know why Nketiah didn't come on earlier," but Eddie didn't do anything. He didn't do anything when he came on. We had chances. We had chances to kill the game off in the first half and at points in the second half. And, you know, regardless of the fact that Salah's not there, he's at the African Cup of Nations. We're still gonna. Liverpool have that firepower. You know, Luis Diaz is really good. Darwin Nunez is decent. You know, Diogo Jota came on. He was the difference, I think, and he seems to always be the difference against us. So yeah, I don't know what's happening. That's 3 losses in a row now in all competitions. It looks a lot worse than it is, I'd say. In the context of the whole season, it's not that bad. I think at the moment we've just hit a bad patch of form. I don't necessarily think that like this is the beginning of the end. I'm not going to be like people on the channel that thinks it leads the Arsenal fan base in opinions. People on there that are saying title race is over. This is a top 4 battle now. We were never guaranteed to win the league anyway. Like, it's always hard to replicate that form, replicate that run of form that we normally do, or that we did last season. You're never guaranteed to do that 2 years in a row, especially when the manager's changed things. He's changed the way that we're playing this season. We've obviously lost players as well. Like Xhaka, I think, was a key component as to why we performed so well last season. And we've lost that now, and we're now trying to play a different way. So yeah, I think there are positives to take out of it, because I feel like it was an improved performance on the last 2. Definitely an improved performance on Fulham anyway. It was very, very similar to the West Ham game, except I felt like we played a little bit better in this game than we did against West Ham. It's unfortunate. Again, people will say that, you know, Arteta's bottled another cup, or Arteta's sacrificed another cup. I disagree with that. I think we did try to win this game. The striking problem rears its ugly head again, and I don't think Arsenal are going to buy a striker. I mean, I did say on the phone in on the Gooner Talk, I did say I think they will go for what they need, but I was mainly referring to a midfielder, and even that now I'm hearing is not the priority. That a left back is the priority. So I don't know. You know, we're not going to get anywhere if the truth of the matter is that the kind of opinion I saw when I looked on X before I came on to record this video is we're not going to win very much if we can't score goals, which is true. Other than all the hyperbole and all the madness that we get from those guys that are sitting there waiting for when we lose a game to say, "See, I told you so. I told you this manager's taking us backwards." You know, the ones that have amnesia every time we win a few games, conveniently have amnesia when we win a few games, and then remember that Arteta was bad all along when we lose a game. It's not that. It's just a shame. It's just a shame that once again, you know, the FA Cup, which we are currently the leading trophy winners of. It's just a shame we've gone out in the 3rd round again, and it's happened quite a lot in the last 10-12 years prior to Arteta. Even before Arteta, we were going out in the 3rd round. You know, Wenger's last season with us, we went out in the 3rd round to Nottingham Forest. So yeah, it's a shame. So it's 2 competitions left now. We're out of the League Cup, out of the FA Cup. We're 2 competitions left: Premier League, which I don't think we're going to win, and the Champions League, which I think we can get past Porto, but I don't necessarily believe that we'll go all the way and win it. So yeah, let's just see what happens. Yeah, we move, I suppose. Next game is Palace. Lunchtime kickoff on the 20th of January, I believe. So yeah, that's where we have to get our league season back on track. That's what we have to do, and we need to go out there and get some reinforcements, because that's the other thing as well. Like with Gabriel Jesus getting injured, we've got now this long-term injury of Thomas Partey. We now have to make some reinforcements. And I believe we do need a left back, because with the injury to Timber, we need a left back, we need a midfielder, and we do need a striker. But I just don't think the club are thinking that way. I think they think Gabriel Jesus, Havertz at times, and Nketiah would be enough, and I don't think it will be. But it's also, you got to think about, even though I don't think that, I know that the club are thinking we're not going to get someone like Ivan Toney in January. It's going to be impossible to get someone like that because Brentford won't sell it. Well, won't sell him for cheap anyway. They won't do a loan either, because we've already signed David Raya on loan, so that's not going to happen. Victor Osimhen has already signed a extension at Napoli, and I never thought we were in for Osimhen anyway. So there's not really anybody out there. There's Evan Ferguson, but I don't think that Brighton would sell him right now. It's always hard to get permanent deals done in January, and I can't see us going out, because that's the only way we're going to get a striker. No one loans out their strikers unless they're shit, basically. So it's going to be difficult to get the striker that everyone wants, and this will probably be. You can never change. Nowadays, you could never change people's minds, and those that are quote unquote Arteta out will always have this opinion. Will always look for anything to hold this manager to account. Which I'm not saying he shouldn't be. When he makes a mistake, he should be called out for it. But the majority of the time, I apart from maybe in the first few seasons, season and a half, I don't necessarily think that the mistakes have outweighed the positives, if that makes any sense. It's very easy to say that, nothing's worked and it's been rubbish, and this is proof that it's been rubbish. But yeah, a lot of people will be holding Arteta to the sword over this striker thing, and the club to the sword. But yeah, just because you say you want it to happen doesn't mean it's going to happen. Plain and simple. Most of the time, the club don't do what you ask them to do. They know when to sack someone. They know when to sign someone. Unfortunately, that's the way that the world of football and the way business works. So yeah. But it's unfortunate. It's a shame. It was a game that I really thought that we could win, and the way we played for the majority of that game, I thought we could. I just think we just didn't finish our dinner, as has been a constant theme this season. So yeah, I guess that's it. I will leave it there. I will be back again, Armchair Armory wise, in in a week or so. I think with the preview for Palace, which is where we have to try and get, as I said, we have to get our league campaign back on track. So yeah, until I speak to you again, wherever you find me on Dansock, on my streams of consciousness, take care and stay safe.